Yo, what is up everyone? Today I'm going to show you my very first endgame build that I'm sharing with you. Not that my very first endgame build that I've made. The first one I'm sharing with you. Quite proud of this build actually. It is just a full set Malzeno set. Not using the Malzeno weapon, but we are using the full armor set. And it's actually really interesting and actually quite effective. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you end up with if you have all of the right decorations and talisman and whatnot. So let's get right into it. So for this build, fair warning, you will need 4 expert crit die decos and 3 crit boost decos. So make sure you have those before you try to put together this build. With this build, you will end up having up to 7 crit die. Depending on your talisman, you will sadly maybe only end up with 6. So if you have a good talisman, you can get 7 crit die, 4 attack boost, 3 crit boost, 3 weakness exploit, 3 blood resist, 3 wirebug whisper, 3 blood right, and 2 part breaker. And you have a bunch of level 1 slots, you can put in whatever you want. I recommend probably speed sharpen. All of these perks, aside from the crit boost and the crit eye, are on the armor itself. Now let's look at the individual pieces of armor. The weapon we're using a rarity 10 Kimura Greatsword. What you want to use is any Greatsword with at least 2 level 2 slots. If you can find a Greatsword level 3 slot, even better. I sadly don't have all of the Greatswords unlocked yet, so I'm not sure if there's a Greatsword with a 3 level 2 slots. But if there is, you should probably use that one because you need slots for this build. But any Greatsword with at least 2 should do pretty okay. But the armor, the headpiece, has 2 Wirebug Whisperer and 1 weakness exploit, and we've slotted in 2 crit boost. Chest piece has 1 blood right, 1 weakness exploit, 1 part breaker, slotted in crit boost. Bracers have 2 attack, 1 wirebug, 1 blood resist, slotted in crit eye. Coil, 2 blood right, 1 part breaker, 1 attack. No slots here, or nothing slotted in there. And the greaves, 2 blood resist, 1 attack, 1 weakness exploit, and slotted in crit eye. Now, the talisman. If you do not have a talisman that gives you at least 3 useful offensive perks, you will be short 1 crit eye. So this talisman I'm using is surprisingly just a rarity 8 talisman with 3 crit eye. So if you have, say, a 2 crit boost talisman with a level 2 slot, that'll work. Level 2 crit or 2 crit eye with a level 2 slot, that'll work too. But you need to get in as much crit eye as possible because this build doesn't come with any crit eye. You have to slot it all in. So that is the only way to get 7. Otherwise, you will end up being short 1 crit eye. Before I show you exactly what this build is capable of, let's go over the Blood Right perk. The Blood Right perk says a portion of damage dealt is converted to health when striking a broken monster part. And so the higher the level, the more health you gain back. So what this health actually just basically is, it's basically health augment from a Monster Hunter world. It's literally that when you have it maxed out. And I can show you exactly how powerful it is, especially with the Greatsword. Just with some really easy testing. Just went over, lowered my health, broke some monster parts, tested here on this Anjaneth, and you can see my health shoot all the way up to full with a True Church Slash. It's quite unbelievable. It's literally just health augment. And because it's literally just health augment, obviously Greatsword takes advantage of it the most. Like with big hits, Hammer would be another good option as well. But honestly, any weapon will do. But sadly, because you don't have that many slots and the perks are kind of set, you're kind of limited with what weapons you can use. I would probably recommend Greatsword for sure. Hammer maybe. I'll be making some other builds, utilizing some weapons to see if I can make them work. I have a theory, or I have a build idea with Longsword that I can possibly make happen, but I need more gold and more parts and blah blah blah. An alternative to this build, by the way, I do have a second version of this build. If you don't want to go the full Malzeno set, you can replace the Malzeno helmet with the Lunagaran helmet. And what that will let you do is it'll let you swap out one Wirebug Whisperer for one extra part breaker. So we're using all the same parts and decos, except we're losing one Wirebug Whisperer off of this armor piece, so that we can slot in one part breaker. I have that slotted in right here. Because you only get the health back on broken pieces on a monster, it's pretty important that you have 3 part breaker. And for whatever reason, the full Malzeno set doesn't have 3 part breaker, it only has 2. So that's kind of weird that it doesn't. So if you want to have the 3 part breaker and you have have a decent talisman, you can get 3 part breaker using the Lunagaran helmet instead, and just lose one Wirebug Whisper, which isn't really that important for Greatsword. Anyways, this is my Malzeno build. I hope you guys liked it. It's really easy to use with Greatsword and the health gain on broken parts. As long as you're hitting broken parts, you will just stay at full as long as you're hitting that part for the most part. Yeah, let me know what you think about this build in the comments. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you like. And you can find me on twitch.tv/RamSO5 every single day making builds and carding. Until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye and happy hunting.